Hello and welcome to this tutorial about Apache Kafka. Before we start, I just would like to show you what to expect from this video. Firstly, I'm going to show you what is a Kafka and why you should learn Apache Kafka. After that, I would like to show you a little bit about Apache Kafka architecture. Also, I will show you how to install Kafka on your local environment, and also we will build the first demo application with Kafka. So as a starting point, I would like to show you what is the biggest challenge that we are trying to solve with Kafka. So in every modern company, in every modern data environment, we have a lot of data sources, and also we have plenty of applications that are trying to consume data from our data sources, and that should be connected with our data sources. And so with this in mind, we can easily end up with something like that if we try to connect our applications with all data sources. And you can see that this solution is really hard to maintain, and basically you would need really army of people to establish all those connections and to maintain this system. And imagine situation, for example, if we need to add additional data source. So again, you have to connect each application with this data source. It's really hard to achieve because you need really a lot of people, and this will not be really easy to scale. And that's basically the reason because Apache Kafka is invented. So with Apache Kafka, we have this data, let's say data system, where the central part of this system is Apache Kafka, and then we don't need to connect our application to every data source. We just need to connect our application to Apache Kafka, and also to connect each database or each data source with Apache Kafka. And then if we would like to add additional data source, we just need to connect this data source with Kafka, and then our applications would easily have this data ready for to consume or to use. And you can see that this system could be easily be scaled, or number also of application could be increased just to connect application to Apache Kafka. So now with Apache Kafka, our application is completely decoupled of our data source, and if we need to add additional application, we just need to connect this application with Kafka, but not to connect our application with every single data source. That was the situation in previous slide. So now when we know a little bit about that, we can say what is Apache Kafka. Firstly, Apache Kafka is open source messaging software platform. It is developed by LinkedIn, but messaging means transferring. So in computer science, this term messaging is used like synonym for transferring. So if you take a look in previous slide, the main point of Kafka here is to message data or to transfer data, because we need to transfer data, for example, from data source, let's say A, to application, let's say B. And that's basically the core point of Kafka. And Kafka is developed in 2010, and now is really well established open source project. And just to support a little bit with more information in this big picture, I would like to show this timeline. Like if this timeline, and this year is 2010, as I said, in 2010 Apache Kafka is invented. But also we have some different solutions that we could use to address the same challenges. Like I said, the data transferring between origin and destination, and we can use traditional ETL, or we can use also database replication. And now I just want to say, if you don't know what ETL is and what database replication is, I highly encourage you to go around and try to learn a little bit about those two approaches, because it would be pretty much easier for you to understand all advantages of Apache Kafka and why should you learn Apache Kafka. And on this example, I just wanted to show the biggest advantages of Kafka according to my opinion. So the firstly is high throughput. It means that we can really easily transfer a vast amount of data from origin to destination. Also, I can say that Apache Kafka has a really low latency, a couple of milliseconds. So we can say that really Kafka is real-time transferring platform, and also it's really easy to scale. You saw that on previous example how it was easy to add additional data source, and also Apache Kafka is a really fault-tolerant system. Now, when you have this knowledge, I would just want to show and support my opinion that Apache Kafka is really amazing software solution, because a lot of well-established companies and really famous companies today are using Kafka. I showed here it is Twitter, Netflix, PayPal, and you name it. It could be, I don't know, Airbnb and so on. You can go around and Google. Believe me, plenty of companies are using Kafka today to support their everyday work with data. And now let's just show you what is the architecture of Apache Kafka. Apache Kafka is also considered as a publish-subscribe system. So instead of publishers, we call it in Kafka producers, and instead of subscribers, we call in Kafka consumers. So, but in this central part of this picture, we have a server, and on this server we're running Kafka. The main component of Kafka is a broker. Broker is just one executable that is running on server and has access to server file system. But I just forgot to say to you that producer could be just our application or our database, for example, Oracle database that is producing data, and also consumer could be, for example, Python web application that is using this data from Oracle database. And also, we can, like any executable, we can have one executable or one broker running on server, or we can have multiple brokers running on server. Just to have in mind, the point of broker is to persist data on server, so, or basically to store data on server. And as I said, we can have one or many brokers running on server. Group of brokers are called cluster. So here we have cluster of 4 because we have 4 brokers, but in previous example we have a cluster of 1 because we are running one broker. And like in everyday life, when we have many workers, but broker is nothing but worker in Apache Kafka, and like in everyday life, when we have more than one worker, we need somehow to organize those workers in this situation, brokers, and that's the reason because we have Apache Zookeeper. Apache Zookeeper is another software solution provided by Apache. It is basically a service that is running, and the main point of this Zookeeper is to control Kafka ecosystem, or to control Kafka cluster, contains all cluster metadata. For example, we can easily see how many brokers we are running on our server and something like that. Also, all monitoring information we are storing in this Zookeeper. For example, what is the health of our brokers? Do we have some disaster in our system? And also leader election. Leader election basically means when we want to produce data, how Kafka will choose which broker would be responsible for this produced data. So to say like that, because it's really the simplest way of explanation what is leader election. And Now I just want to show you, from my perspective, it is the most important thing to understand, to be able to completely have understandable picture of what is Apache Kafka and how Kafka is storing data. So like in traditional databases, SQL database for example, we have a tables, and then when we want to send the data to database, we just need to send the data to data table. But in Apache Kafka we are sending our data in topics. So topics are just categories of message with some meaning. For example, if we can make some example. We are now running a cryptocurrency company, and we just want to have application that is connecting to our database, that is showing the price of cryptocurrency every day, and for example price of Bitcoin. And then we just need to have our database, and then we will publish this data to the topic. In this case, this topic could be the price of Bitcoin, and then we are connecting our application that need information about price of Bitcoin to this topic, and we can have one or many topics as we want. And also we need to assign broker to each topic. So it is important that we always need to assign broker to topic, because broker should be responsible for this topic. And it could of course be that one broker is assigned to one topic, or one broker could be assigned on of more than one topic. And just to show you an example, we have a producer here, and we need to produce data to topic 1. We just connect to topic 1 and produce data. And also we have consumer and need to consume data. We will also connect directly to the topic 1 and consume this data of interest. So that's basically the explanation how it works. But I know that the name topic is maybe too abstract for you. That's the reason, because now I will show you what physically speaking topic means. The physical representation of topic is just file on our file system on the server. So this file is called log. Log is just sequence of data, and this data is time ordered, and we need just to always append data at the end of this immutable sequence of time ordered data. So we can say that log is immutable sequence of time ordered data, and whenever we publish new data, for example our cryptocurrency company is now publishing data of price of Bitcoin for today, we are just able to append data at the end of this sequence of data. And just to note, this sequence is immutable. It means if this number, for example 2, message that we produced is wrong, we are not able to delete it, and we are not able to update that. We are just able to create new record and to send it to Kafka, and Kafka will append it to this log. And we can say that in the heart of Kafka is just a simple idea of storing data in this log file. So that's basically the core of understanding of Kafka, because this log is really powerful, because when we have this log, we know what happened and when happened, because we have information, of course, what happened, and because it is time ordered, we have information when something happened. And also something that is important, that we can store our topic in this log, okay, but we can split this log to be not one file, to be many files. And that's the important, because of scalability, or because we with this logic we are able to scale our topic. What does it mean? Imagine if this topic is, I don't know, some social media data, and probably we will have plenty of data, and we are not able to store this data on one server. Then we need this topic, for example social media data, to split amongst servers, and then we need this log also, which is physical representation of this topic, to split also on more than one machine. And also then we can assign additional brokers to work with this topic and so on. But just to have in mind, this partition is really configurable in Kafka. You can have one partition if your estimation is that it is enough. You can have two or more. That's really configurable. But just to know that you can choose the number of partitions. And also something that is important is that consumer is consuming data from topic, but something to have in mind, that consumer is responsible for maintaining this offset. This offset means that consumer knows what was the latest information that it read from Kafka topic. And when we are reading messages from Kafka topic, this offset is of course moving. I just want to say that we also something that is configurable. We are not keeping all information from beginning of history in Kafka topic, because we will need really a lot of memory to store all these topics. But that's something that is also configurable in Kafka. You can say, okay, I just want to keep this log file 10 days in the past, for example. By default it is 7 days in Kafka, and you don't need to set up it if it is enough for you. But of course you can also increase this period and to say, okay, I just want to keep data, for example, 10 days in the past. And basically that's it regarding introduction to Kafka. Now I'm going to show you how to install Kafka on your local environment, and also I'm going to show you how to create your first demo application with Kafka. But before we start, I just want to say that recommended operating system for running Kafka is Linux, and I'm running Linux also locally. If you're using Linux, if you're using Windows or some other operating system, you can create virtual machine, or you can also try to install it on Windows. It will be working, but I just want to say that recommended operational system is Linux. And also you should have installed Java and Scala on your local environment to be able to have Kafka up and running. So that's basically it, and in the next couple of minutes I will show you the installation process and how to create the first Kafka application. So stay tuned. Hello again and welcome back to this tutorial. And now we are going to set up Kafka on our local environment, and also we are going to create our first Kafka demo example. So as a start, let's download Kafka from official Apache website. Just type Apache Kafka downloads, and inside this website we have all versions of Kafka. And something that is important here to note, that you should check which Scala version is running on your local machine, because it is important when you are choosing compatible Kafka version, and you can check it with this command scala-version, and just wait a bit. In my case it is Scala 2.11, and basically it means that I can, for example, download this Kafka version, and then you click here and you're ready to download this zipped file. And because I did that previously, I will not lose time now. I already downloaded this file, and then I would just extract here. You just need to extract this, and you will get Kafka folder, where all folders regarding that we need for running Kafka are here. So just to explain a little bit all those folders. Firstly, we have bin folder. This is folder that contains all shell scripts that we need for running Kafka Broker and Kafka Zookeeper. Previously I said that for running Kafka cluster we need at least one Kafka Broker and one Zookeeper. So inside this bin folder we have all these scripts. We can also explore it. Let's cd into, and here we can see that, for example, Zookeeper server start.sh is just, for example, shell script that will run Zookeeper server. And also we have this config folder, sorry, this is the folder that contains all configurational files. Also libs folder, that is the folder which contains all dependencies that we need for running Kafka, and this site docs folder is folder that contains all documentation that we can read, for example, if we are interested in some information regarding Kafka. So let's firstly start creating Kafka Zookeeper server, because as I said, we firstly should create Zookeeper and Broker, but let's firstly create Zookeeper. And then, okay, the command for Zookeeper I said is just to run this here, this script, so it's like that. Zookeeper server start, and when we press enter, you will see this usage hint that we should use Zookeeper server start.sh script with this configurational file. This file is inside this config folder, so we can see into that folder and see this Zookeeper properties file, which is basically the hint that should be used with this sh script. And we can explore this file just to see what is going on here. And you can see that it's just configurational file. For example, here is specified on which on which port will our Zookeeper server will be running. So okay, now we can continue creating Zookeeper just with this config file, Zookeeper properties, and then we press enter. Sorry, it was cat, not cat, just bin Zookeeper. Okay, config and then Zookeeper properties, and then press enter. And now wait a little bit, and you can see that our first Zookeeper is up and running, and now we should create a broker. So let's create a new tab, and now we should also search for a script that will create our broker, and also this script is inside this bin folder, so we can cd into this bin folder ls, and we can see that it is Kafka server start script, and then we can really run it. We can run it, and also it is usage hint that we should use with this server properties configurational file. Again, this file is inside config folder, but let's run it with config server properties, and then press enter, and just wait a little bit. Kafka is now creating our first broker. Wait, it is running, and we can see that now broker is created. We should see here registered broker number 0, and that's basically it. Now we have created a broker and Zookeeper. So the next thing that we should create is topic. So let's open up additional tab, and then Again, you can guess, of course, script for creating broker is inside this bin folder. So we can see into bin to see just which script to call. It's kafka-topic.sh, and we can now say bin kafka topic sh, enter, and now you will get all possible arguments that you can use while you are creating topic. And firstly, we should define what we should do with this command. It's basically to create a topic, and here we have -- create argument. So just notice that every argument is starting with -- so -- create, -- delete, -- describe, and so on. We should use firstly -- create for creating topic, then for naming topic we should use command -- topic just to give the name of topic. Then we should say which zookeeper should be responsible for this topic, and that's basically this command here, -- zookeeper. This command is useful, for example, when you have more than one zookeeper that is up and running, and then you can easily specify which zookeeper should take care of this topic that you're trying to create. And also we are going to say how many partitions do we want for this topic. As I explained you in previous slides, that physical representation of topic is just a log file, and this log file could have one partition and could have many partitions, as many as we want. And basically in this example I will just put number of partitions just as 1, and also replication factor we should put here. Replication factor means, for example, if we have two brokers, we have put one broker to be as a backup, and for example this broker will have complete copy of our log file, but would be used just as it is in argument as a replication. So if our main or our leader broker, for some example, experience some disaster and goes down, we can then just replace this broker with this replicational broker. So in this case also we will put this as a 1. So that's basically it, and now we can start creating this topic. So again, inside bin folder we can go bin Kafka topic, then first argument is create, then -- topic. The name of topic could be whatever. I will call it happiness, and then we should specify zookeeper, for example it's low host, and the port of zookeeper is this one. And then, as I said, replication factor, should be 1, and also the number of partitions -- partitions should be also 1. Okay, so just to check, create topic, zookeeper, replication factor, partitions, that's all. Just press enter and wait a little bit. It is creating now this topic, and we can see that topic is created. Excellent. If you go to broker, we can see that we have partitions for happiness -0, that's the name of our topic, and you can see that this is created on this path. I will just try to sorry, I will just try to check it here. New tab, just let's cd into this temp folder and then ls, and you can see here Kafka logs. As I said, topic is physical representation of topic is log, so just cd into this Kafka logs ls here, and you can see that one partition for this topic happiness is created. Congratulations. So just cd into this happiness and see that physical representation is log, and it looks like this. Excellent. And now we have zookeeper, we have broker, and we have topic. Now we should create producer of data to produce some data into our Kafka cluster, and at the end we will create consumer to consume that data. But go with new tab, I will just go with new window. And again, you can guess that inside the bin folder we have a script for creating a Kafka producer. So let's cd again into bin folder just to check. It's Kafka console producer script. So go here and then like that console producer, and if we type enter we will see also all possible arguments that we could use for this command. Basically we need which broker, of course topic I can see here. Of course we need to specify on which topic we would like to create data or to produce data, let's say like that. And also we should specify broker, and here we have this broker list command. So that's basically it that we would like to use in this example. So let's again then add here broker dash list. Again, every argument is starting with dash dash broker list, and broker is running on our local machine, so we can say localhost. And basically I know that the port is this number. You can go in configuration of file for broker and see and ensure that this host is right number. And now I will skip that. And also you can type the name of topic. In our case it is happiness. So that's all. Just which broker and which topic, and then press enter and wait a little bit. And now that's it. Our producer is created. Excellent. And we can produce the first data in our happiness topic. It could be, for example, hello world, then Kafka is happy, then sunny day, and whatever you can type, for example games, dogs. It's enough. Okay, now let's create consumer to consume data. Just make this a little bit left and this on the right side. So now consumer. Again, consumer script is inside bin folder. We should cd into bin folder and find this shell script. Sorry, my battery is leaking. Okay, let's back. Now just we need we just need to create consumer, and consumer is inside this bin folder. So that's basically this shell script, and I can run it. So just Kafka console consumer. If we press enter, we will see now all possible arguments that we are able to use. Here we need of course server on which we are willing to consume data, and also of course the name of topic, just to see, yeah, that's Bootstrap server. And where is the topic? And yeah, this topic argument. So we just need to specify from which topic, of course, we want to consume data, and then we can say Bootstrap server. And of course it is a local host, that's where broker is running on a local host. Sorry, here it's basically this port, and also we should say topic, it's happiness, and then something that I forgot to say is when we are consuming data, I explained to you that consumer is responsible for keeping this offset, so basically like a bookmark of last information or last record from topic that's consumer read. And here, when you're for the first time establishing this consumer, you have this really nice argument, just to find that from beginning. Yeah, that you for example read the data from the beginning of this log file, and I will use that. And press enter. So just wait a couple of seconds to see how our consumer is working. Wait a little bit. And yeah, congratulations, we have the first Kafka example up and running, and we can type here, hi, how are you? And you can see here that we are producing here data, and here we are consuming data. Topic is good for Kafka, for example. I'm just typing whatever, and it is working. And also I will just now to show you this log file, which is physical representation of topic. You can go and see it into temp folder and say it is inside Kafka logs again. Okay, else we can see this happiness here, we can see it into happiness, and again, and let's explore this log file for this happiness partition or happiness topic. You can see here how are you message, you can see here hello world, you can see Kafka is happy. So basically we can see that our Kafka example is really working like a charm. And also something to note here, that broker is responsible for persisting data on our local machine or our server. Let's call it like that. So that's the job of broker, to store data in this log file, and then consumer will consume data from this log. So that's basically it for this time. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, please like, and also you can subscribe, because my plan is to make more videos about Kafka and other topics. So thanks again, and see you next time.